We're all familiar with cows and bulls, especially in India, and they form an agronomically and culturally important group of animals. But what if I ask you, and many of you may be going to school, college, university, coming back, wandering around your neighborhood, may have encountered some stray cows or bulls. But if I asked you how much do they weigh, what is the weight of a cow or what is the weight of a bull, unless you're a farmer buying and selling these animals, you may not necessarily know it. And the purpose of asking this question is not to know your general knowledge, but to provide you a method, a toolbox by which, using order of magnitude estimates, dimensional analysis, and simplification, you can quantify a biological system. Cows are biological animals, the animal kingdom Animalia. And we will use the same approach with cells. So far, as you saw, we did this with atomic bomb explosion. Cows are more innocent comparatively. So how do we go about it? We need a relative scale. We need size, obviously. We want weight, remember, mass. Uh, the farmer who is using this bull, I think this is somewhere in Maharashtra, is standing next to the bull. So the bull height and the farmer's height are comparable. If we imagine that the farmer is a 5.5 foot person, maybe even 6 feet, we're looking at a dimension in terms of metrics of around 1.6 meters. That is 1 meter 67 centimeters. If we want to simplify our calculations, we can say this is rounding off either the arithmetically correct way would be 2 meters. So we say the bull is 2 meters tall, but it has horns, it has length, it has legs. So maybe this 2 meters is an overestimate, right? Because a lot of the height of the bull is made up of legs, leg space, which has no stomach. So unless it's a very fat cow or a bull. So we can say maybe 1 meter is a better approximation. Now, in order to calculate mass of an object, we need a shape. This is a very complicated shape, and you can maybe, if you're artistic, you can draw it. You can fit a cylinder with small cylinders that represent the legs, and then there's the hollow intestines in which the food goes. There's the urinary tract from which the urine comes out. There is the mouth, which has a gap. So there are many hollow spaces, the eye spaces, and so on. But we are going to try and make a simplification. The simplification is that we make a spherical assumption. Remember, I said this earlier also. Circle is a simple geometrical object. It has one axis of symmetry. Um, it has multiple axes of symmetry which are characterized by one variable. I'm sorry, I meant radius. And that's all you need to know. And from high school geometry, you know the volume of the sphere is 4/3 pi r cube. So you can find the volume of your cow because you can assume that the radius, as we said, is 0.5 meters because the diameter is 1 meter. In the same spirit that we discussed estimating the yield of an atomic bomb, we will now turn to an agronomically and culturally important animal, the cow. The first thing we need to know is the relative scale. So we can say between 1 and 2 meters is a reasonable height to assume. But if we want to answer the question, how heavy is a cow or a bull, we need to make further simplifications because the complex shape of a cow may suggest that something more like a cylinder with cylindrical legs. Do we combine two legs in front and two legs in front, back into one, and then a sort of cylindrical head? How much do we consider, etc.? So instead, we consider spherical cow. Not just as a joke, but also because it helps us make certain simplified assumptions. For example, we can ask and answer ourselves the question that the mass must be equal to the volume into the density, because this is in length cube and this is in mass per length cube. So dimensionally this should be correct. So what is the volume of a cow? If we assume a sphere and we assume about 1.5 meters as its diameter, d is equal to 1.5 meters, then the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cube, which is 2 squared r. So okay, let's undo that, which is 4/3 by d by 2 cube. If I use my calculator, then taking my volume as taking my diameter as 1.5 meters, I get 4 into pi into 1.5 divided by 2 power of 3 divided by 3, which is 1.767 meter cube. In order to get the mass, I now need to multiply this with the volume, with the density. The density we will take, assuming that it's mostly made up of water, is rho is equal to 1 gram per cm cube, which is 10 to the power 3 kg per meter cube. This is because this is 10 to the power minus 2 into 3, that is minus 6. This is 10 to the power minus 3. Therefore, we get 10 to the power 3 kg per meter cube. So 1.767, we get 1.767 into 1000 is 1767 kg. This is a bit on the higher side, so if you look, however, the adult bull has a mass from agronomical databases of around 1000 kg. So we are slightly above with 700 kilograms extra, maybe twice as much even, but it's not such a big problem. So with just this simple arithmetic and some guesswork and simplification of shape, assumption of density of water, and a dimensionally correct multiplication, we can get an answer to a otherwise not very easy question to solve. You can of course imagine a whole field such of such football cows or spherical cows, and you can imagine that if you want to know what is the cow density of India, then with the size estimates and the approximate area of India and the number of cow population, you can actually estimate the cow density and try to find out what is it comparable to the human density. There are countries where cattle density is higher than human density. As it appears, this is probably not the case in the case of India, but I leave you to do this calculation yourself. The case of India, incidentally, cows per person is 0.15, meaning for 10 cows, there is 1.5 cows. Yeah, so we're not 1:1 yet, tenfold fewer cows. Okay. We have done a lot of approximations in the last few lectures, and we're now going to talk a little bit about some fundamental properties of living materials.